It's not them.
Okay, the gang's all back together.
Oh,
What up, my guy? Hey, you kind of clean. You
dog from here.
dog. They
What the dog dragged in?
You got a new shirt, dog?
That's his
They
twin.
gave my dog a new shirt.
No,
Man, I'm fired up for you right now.
Started off with it. I can let y'all know what I'm
Yeah.
talking.
Them days are long, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know how it
That's
goes.
that good money. That check.
You know how it goes.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me can't pin in it. I fought to hear to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Trust, limitless, niggas to me can't pin in it. I fought to hear to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key.
Well, fellas, we did it. Shit, I didn't know if we was gonna make it 2 weeks, much less 2 years. But here it is, man. The pivot, our second anniversary.
Dope pimpers, I need a place to sleep sometimes.
Grandma, she's like, you get drafted yet to the NFL? No, Grandma, no.
Welcome to the 2023 NFL Draft.
Like sports was the thing.
You know, think the unthinkable.
I get too tough to play football.
We want to see.
This is for the champions.
And yeah, that's kind of, the way I look at it.
Duval was right. You know, as I do, they get it.
I just shot out, man. That's where I'm at now.
Creativity goes a long way.
Yeah, but you got to be kidding me.
That's changed.
Yeah, I played in the old NBA and the new NBA.
Correct.
Yeah.
To be able to be a part of history like that, that was sick.
Now that's when you see I'm a different player.
Don't let him down.
Appreciate you, boy. I mean, I still remember, getting the FaceTime from you, Chan, talking to Leash, and, once we all got on that first call together and started kind of working it, and then now everything that we've been through to get to this point, all the good, the highs, the lows, everything has made us what we are. But obviously the fans, the subscribers, the people that support us, when you look back on this second year, Freddie T, what are your thoughts?
That, just one of those right there, man, like, damn. We've been grinding, man. We really have been on a roll. And not just, a lot of fans encourage us and say you have an amazing product, a good show. But when I say we've been on a roll, just our relationships, developing our relationships, seeing, vulnerable sides of each other, through thick and thin, sharing messages of our families and encouraging each other to keep just pushing, because this is a grind. Seeing you grow, saying like you want this on your plate, then you get it on your plate, then you get tested.
Yeah.
Then you have questions that come about, but then you kind of reinforce and get in the gear and say, this is what I asked for, I got to get it. But seeing our growth, a lot of stuff, man, but got to keep going, man. The text we shared today about 24 and attacking it and keep going and making things better. But in retrospect, I just love how we continuously stick together and, we are all for each other.
And it's funny as you say that, like when we did a FaceTime call, Freddie, Leash, you, myself, and it's like, hey, let's try this. And then the shit worked. We talked about it year one, like now it's working, now we gotta go, now we gotta grind. And that's the thing too, just like Freddie T said, like, just seeing the personal growth, seeing us work through stuff, seeing y'all calling me when y'all know I'm going through a hard time, seeing I reach out to y'all when I know, saying all y'all stuff ain't right, but that's like the brotherhood of it. And the people that talk to us. Yeah. We was just at the airport, somebody ran up on me and Freddie T. Man, love what y'all doing, this is what it is. Like, I never expected to affect people's lives the way we do.
Yeah.
I just wanted, so I thought it was cool. I knew the platform can work. I knew we had some very dynamic personalities, but like the impact to have on people's lives, the people that run up on me and be like, hey, me and my wife went to a nudist resort. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny that they want to whisper that to me, but it's something that they tried because of our platform. So it continues to be that way where I'm just surprised that people really take us in. And that uncle thing, like I used to run from it, now I love it. Hey, man, hey, Unc, hey, Unc, hey, Unc, hey, TikTok guy, and all those names, like, I really embrace it now because I know that we're affecting people's lives.
Monday night, Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, one of the biggest games of the season, a game that's important to you for many reasons, but, one, because of the teams and what it would mean for the AFC. Also, whether it's Dane Jackson, obviously, DeMar Hamlin, you have your guys out there. It's the first quarter, game starts as we thought it would. Cincinnati Bengals go down and score. Buffalo gets a field goal. Buffalo's back on defense now. The game cuts. DeMar Hamlin's down on the field, and you can't really see him. All you see is Stephon Diggs crying, Tre'Davious White, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen hugging. When you're sitting there, not only as a player, but as a friend, what's going through your head as DeMar is being tended to on the ground?
Yeah, just knowing DeMar and knowing how much he loves this game, he gives his heart out to it. And then this last 2 years, he's been fighting to get on the field, and he finally got on the field. And I just texted him probably a couple weeks ago. We was talking just about, it's gonna be your time. He always picking my brain about, how to get better and vice versa. We grew up playing against each other when I was little. Played together at Pitt, roommate at Pitt. So I know how much football. I know how much just life means to DeMar. So seeing him on the field is painful. Was being a football player and knowing that you think about the injuries that could happen during the game, but you go out there middle of the play, you playing your heart out, you making hard hits and stuff like that. So just seeing him down there, I sat there, prayed in the car. I was going out to dinner, so I called my mom. First thing I did. Just asked her everything going all right. She's making phone calls, trying to find out what's going on. That everybody, just cause they don't know DeMar, but being a football player, you got that connection. It's just different. Y'all know the football family. It's a different connection than anything in the world.
I think for me, what's been great about the second year is the ability to not care about the things we cared about the first year. The first year, there were so many outside influences on what we did, because whether it felt like we had to compete with a certain thing, whether it felt like we had to prove certain things, we were always working, and the outside noise, not that it was loud, but we had to pay attention to it because that's what was giving us our validation. That was the thing that was letting us know we were on the right path, whereas now, it's about what we feel and about what we think. It's about if we think we can tell a story that would matter to people. It's honestly about if I believe that the storyteller needs us, right? If they have a story to tell, or if they want to share something they've gone through, just talking to Rashard, that wasn't about us. That was about him. And to be able to give people that sort of space and for them to be comfortable enough with us to do that, that's become my new mission. It changed in phases, right? It was be successful, be accepted, be validated, and then it was be an impact to the people that watch our show. And now this has become, I want to help those who sit down with us, and the people that sit down with us are helping me. I've learned so much and felt so many different things from that. And I think that is such a blessing of what we do, that it's not, triggered by how much money we can make with the people we sit down. It's triggered by the stories we get to share. When you look back at this year, man, and we've just been so blessed to sit with so many different people, share so many conversations. Freddie T, what's your favorite show of the year?
I think that's unfair. That's a loaded question, man, because there's so many amazing guests that we sat down with. Even the cross collabs with guys with their own platforms, the Wallow Gilly sitting down with Jack and Matt.
Welcome to the DraftKings collab. I think everybody's been waiting on this. I know since we started our show, this is something that I was interested in doing. No two men I respect for the way that they live life, for the way that they played the game, more than Stack and Matt, obviously Chan and Freddie T, but more importantly, what they're doing post-career, I think is a step above. Like, so many people want to get into the business of broadcast, of media. I don't think everybody can figure out how to do it and continue to remain their authentic selves. I think both of these brothers have done that, and they've done it in a way where they can go into any office building and do business, right? But they can also walk into any hood and have conversations with the same people that look like them. I think that's the important part about what we do, is being able to bring this right, into the buildings of people that don't look like us.
Why you talking about them like we ain't no good entrepreneurs?
Because he talk about y'all every day.
We ain't just welcome.
Can we get our flowers?
Look at the 2 signs.
But let us give y'all flowers.
Thank you. I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm light skinned. Man, I'm light skinned, man. I get sensitive sometimes.
You know, Ryan and your crew, you guys have kind of set the standard for what it's supposed to be like. You know what I mean? And I think both sides, I mean, we've done it from a basketball standpoint. You guys have done it from a football standpoint, but also understanding that the platform that we were given, we've also understood that that's going to lead to other opportunities.
My favorite show, man, it was the show at Channing's house, the show when I spoke about my grandmother.
Yes.
Just because of me being just vulnerable and sharing with the entire world.
That was amazing.
You know, how I felt.
You good? Are you okay? And do you need anything from me?
Wow. I'm good. I have moments. Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying not to tear up thinking about my grandmother. That's the toughest thing that I got going on right now.
What's going on with Grandma?
So I'm trying to work out earlier today, right? And I'm doing my little run on the treadmill, and I'm like, damn, I got 15 minutes left. I was tired as a motherfucker. And I was playing Marvin Sapp, never would have made it. And it just made me start thinking about my grandmother. And I know the song is a reference to God, but I feel like without her, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have done half the stuff I did.
Take your time, bro.
No, I'm good. I'm real good. And I have moments when I just think about her and everything she's done and what she means to me. She has dementia, and it's real bad. And she's just here. She's not living, she's just here. And it's fucked up. I can't even talk no more. And then a couple months after that, we ended up losing her. So it allowed me to reflect back on that show, even at that moment. But that's the pivot, though, you know?
The happiest guy, the jokester, the class clown, the dude that, you know, lights up the room, whatever, the correct charismatic guy, they also have trouble. They also have demons. They also have insecurities. And my personality was built off insecurities. Was built off not having money coming up, built off wearing the Avias and all, built off, you know, not really having the resources growing up. So I had to be funny. That's how I got in rooms to be funny. And I think it was built about that. So, like, even the guy, to your point, the happiest dude in the room, ask him how he's doing, for real. A lot of people don't ask me because to the point that I'm always happy, I'm laughing, I'm always brightening everyone else's day. His day must be fine because he's brightening everybody else's life. I would say that's not a fact. That person that brightens other people's lives, they're just good at brightening people's day.
Shane, with that, well, how do you feel those three-man shows have helped us grow, though? Because I feel like, man, we are all close because we're always together. Like I always tell you, celebrities in the wild, like when people see us all together, they act like, oh, it's all three of them. Yeah, it's just like the show. We just bullshit. We got to get to the same places.
I just saw Fred walk through the airport. I'm like, I'm Fred. Oh, my bad, I meant Sam. Like, it's crazy.
How do you feel about those three-man shows, man, and what we've been able to create with that? Because, you know, early it was, you got to get those guests so people tap in And now getting to a point where we're not only comfortable doing shows with just us three, but people enjoy those shows. And I honestly walk away every time feeling closer to y'all, but a lot of times feeling like I've unburdened myself of things that I hold in all week, all month, you know what I mean? And I was listening to her, man, and I learned, right? And what I learned was, it was like, I didn't want her to go. I wanted to help her. I wanted Jaden to be with us, because I felt like then I could help her sort of control what was happening. But everybody's pivot is their own. And I had to learn that. And I thought because I loved her so much that helping her and being a part of it and making some of those decisions was loving her. But really, it was controlling her. And control is the exact opposite of love. And I was listening to her talk and say what she learned and say how much she's grown being there. And that was hard for me because you want to be a part of everything. But sitting and listening to her, I was proud of her. Pivot for us has taken, like every time we hear it, obviously it matters now. And we don't know, like, it's probably a word people have used my entire life, but now every time I hear it, I equate it to what we are and what we've done. And that was the first time I heard somebody use it, and it affected me more than anything we've ever done here.
And that's the thing, and you pushed for it early. But we were running. Like you just said, we was running, we were trying to figure out where to be, like what we are. And you pushed for it early. But that's where we are the stars. That's where, like this show, like we're speaking on ourselves, speaking on our emotions, and we do a great fucking job interviewing people. And that's why, like, people love it. They're like, hey, introspective, emotional, I'm with the silly shit. Like, we understand our places. But the three-man shows, it's like, oh, these the boys talking. And that's what people figure out when they walk in. And that's why we do such great interviews, is because when people walk in, they sit down and we already bullshitting.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, these just the dudes sitting around talking. And that's why people are so open with us. But those three-man shows, I really think it takes it off the interview style and it takes it back to what we do in the car, driving from Baton Rouge to Dallas, what we do in the airport when we're traveling together. And we just sit there and fucking argue and talk and just be men, like, just be boys. And that's what people love, is like they connect themselves and they can see the different personalities in their friends when they sit around. Oh, here you go RC, about to say some real smart shit. Oh, here go goofy ass Chan, whatever his name is, you know what I'm saying? Okay, somebody gonna calm it down. Fred gonna come with some real shit to make you think about it. And I think that's what the three-man shows do, is it relates to people. And I actually love it, because shit, I love sitting around in the car talking to you. I wish we had a camera and got them some of them car goddamn rides.
That'd be the best conversations we have. You know, and that's I think back like to the show Fred's talking about, that's the show after the Emmys. I can't say that had I not won it, it would have mattered. I don't think that part matters. Being rewarded the Emmy, though, matters in the sense of like the work being recognized. I think that's for sure the blessing in it. But the rest of it is the rest. I don't believe it validates or invalidates anybody who was up for the award.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, had my name not been called, you guys would have thought any less of my work or my efforts. I also don't think in having my name called, you think more of it. Like, the feeling that it gave you when I did it is still the same, but it is the acknowledgement that the way other people will perceive it now and the way that they'll categorize the work. But I do want to say this, because we, as the Pivot, we didn't get to be up for any Emmys. For whatever the reasons are, we don't have the qualifications. But when I'm sitting there and I'm watching the nominees, we definitely did work that should get us those sort of accolades, to get us those sort of achievements, those sort of opportunities. And I do want to say this, because I didn't get to tell y'all, I know that I got an award working at ESPN, but that's part of what we do too. People got to see me differently because y'all made that call. People got to see me differently because y'all gave me this opportunity. And outside of that, there have been no three people, Alicia included, who have supported me more than y'all. And honestly, the way that y'all talk about me publicly, but more so even privately, in acknowledging my work and saying that I'm capable, like those things matter. Alicia to helping with my video with ESPN, my bio, you know what I mean? Like she was more or as much of a part of it as anybody at ESPN. So to y'all three, bro, I can't thank y'all enough. I am extremely grateful. Some of the things I got to get off of my chest about being passed over or the way I work, you know, you talking about the fun guy or the funny guy, he needs to be checked on too. Yep. You said I need to tap more in to my home. Freddie T sharing that with us when it was so crazy, like we didn't even know that that was what he was going through. Like I just asked a question. And for him to be open in that moment, you know, just all the things that we've got an opportunity to talk about throughout that. But for you, Chan, like what's a moment though that sticks out for you this year? Like whether it be a guest, us just bullcorning and Leash getting it on camera and putting it in production.
What is that? What was that?
Bullcorning. That's he says stuff like that because he tries to run from cuss words.
Where'd that come from?
Bullcorn.
I've
never heard bullcorn in my life.
He's not afraid.
You've heard that before.
Bullcorn.
You've heard that before. Don't start.
This year was different than year one.
Okay.
Because I was excited about certain people that I don't know if year one, like it would just be there. Mina was one of my favorites because I've watched her from afar. Yeah. I know y'all are cool. I know what she does.
And 3.
When was this?
Got my ring, 23, so 19.
Yeah?
Yeah. But even from not knowing Mina and admiring her from afar to having a guy like UD, Udonna sat down with us at the crib. Yep. And I know UD for 20. I've known UD as long as I knew Fred. And just sitting down and hearing him speak at the place he was speaking at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The way his mind works right before retirement, and now he retired after the show, you know, and all that stuff. Bro, the fucking Rock.
Yeah, dog.
Kevin Hart shit, that shit blew up for me. Like, that shit put me in a different place than I was. Right. Just having Kevin Hart, like, you know, I call him ecosystem.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We did Kevin the first year, and The Rock swung back around because of actually doing that. Even watching The Young Rock, which is, what you said, a love letter to wrestling, you could see some of the ways you moved around. You know, your father being kicked out when he was 13, you living in different states by the time you were 13. I think it was like Hawaii, Nashville, Pennsylvania, all in 1 year. When you have that sort of upbringing, and you as a family and a young man as yourself go through those sorts of adversities, how did you use those things to shape who you are now as a man?
Well, I try to these days keep those times in the forefront of my mind. I try to keep them close. And, you know, we've all been there. So we've all had our $7 moment. And when I was playing up in Calgary for the CFL, I was cut in October, sent home. And at that time, you know, I'd left University of Miami. The guys who I was playing with at that time, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp, they were lighting the world on fire. Their dreams were coming true. They were buying their mom's houses. And when I got cut from Canada that season, that was when I had $7 in my pocket. So we've all had those moments in $7, with $7, having $7. But what I found, and as I got a little luckier down the road of life and was able to achieve a thing or two, I started to apply gratitude. And I was always trying to apply gratitude anyway. You know, I've always been that way, I think at my core, just trying to find the good in something. Because it's easy to get lost in the sludge of things, especially when things are down. And the tidal wave of disappointment out of that was a rough one for me. It wound up being, I always say, me playing in the NFL wound up being the best thing that never happened to me.
That's the wild thing, is that one thing we talk about with people about is people, like knowing people. So without Kevin, I don't know how y'all feel. I don't think The Rock happens without Kevin.
It doesn't. I don't think it does.
DJ, I don't call you. Your team calls you, that's why I picked it up. You brought up friends, and you talking about your physical physique, and you are a damn door. But as your friend, bro, you got a decision to make coming up here soon.
Tell me.
You can't keep that 50-year-old face on that 25-year-old body. You either got to upgrade the face, or you got to show. I just, as your boy, man, it's just you walk in, I'm
the
like,
face? What do you mean upgrade the face?
I don't know what they do. Pull the shit back, flip the shit down. I don't know what they do to it. And that's the thing is when people sit down with us and they like, oh, okay. Just like what I was saying, we sit around and bullshit. It's like, oh, these the homeboys.
Right.
And that's how I think, that's why I think the second year happened. That's why I know the second year happened. But just all the people, man, I can go on for, bro, we had Ice Cube.
What's happening with you?
Good, how you feeling, man?
Good, boss, man.
What's up, boy?
Love, bro.
Boy, no wonder you used to blast through them hoes like that.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. We had goddamn Snoop Dogg. This nigga sent me ice cream. Come on, man. Like, I'm sitting in my house, bro, eating ice cream from Snoop.
Y'all know I'm a fan of the show, man. Big fan of the show.
That's love,
Just
bro.
letting y'all know.
Appreciate it.
Fan of all of y'all. Fred, I used to play with you on NCAA. You was my running back with them Gators,
They
man.
already like to fuck with me and call me old, bro.
Man, I'm just saying. Niggas didn't know your name until I made it famous in the hood. Like, nigga, Freddie Taylor, nigga. What are you talking about, nigga? To the rack, nigga, to the house.
I was fucking with you one time, but from afar. I said, man, Snoop got to know it as the Stiller Killer. I used to put that pressure on these boys.
Yeah, you used to put the pressure on with them Jacksonville boys. You put that pressure on.
That's the truth.
Hey,
yeah, I'm not lying.
The crazy thing is, though, when he was playing with you on NCAA, it was before they dropped 187. That was before deep cover and everything. When he was playing with you on NCAA.
You real funny.
Yeah, that doggy style wasn't even.
That was standard definition. It wasn't no high definition in that game.
Hey, Snoop, and you were playing with Freddie T on NCAA, dog.
That's from Florida State, all y'all.
We used to get it in.
It was a Florida thing. Miami, everybody was winning in the Florida area.
So what's crazy about Snoop, remember, we left straight from doing The Rock and drove to do Snoop.
Yep.
We did that in the same day. And you put those shows out at different times, but you walk away from that day and you headed to the airport and a podcast that three dudes started that you didn't know exactly what it's going to be. You did one of the biggest entertainers in all of the world and an entertainer that through generations has remained a star. And like they sat down with us and it wasn't awkward. Like I didn't feel like they were doing me a favor or that, cause we don't pay people to do interviews with us. So it's not like I'm only doing this cause you gave me money to be here. And then now to have relationships with those guys, like to be able to text them or just holler at them, it's like, man, this show has given us that and we've entertained for so long. For me too, it's things like Drew Robinson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chronologically, you pull the trigger and then there's 20 hours. Like that's, like you read this, it's crazy to hear. Like you pull the trigger, is it a time of, you don't remember?
No.
Like what, like you pull the trigger and then you're still there.
Yeah, I remember very vividly what I was looking at before, pulled it, and still seeing the same thing.
Your story is inspiring. We are blessed that we got an opportunity to sit with you. Thank you for taking the time, and I just look forward to seeing what you continue to do, the people you continue to touch, and the lives that you help save.
Appreciate it, man. I love this stuff. I thank you so much for having me.
His story, his triumph, and Freddie mentioned it already, but Gilly, bro.
Yep.
Watching a man in an hour go through the range of emotions that he did on our show was, to me, one of the more fascinating things I've ever been a part of. Did Lou Young call you before he put out, you gotta lick it before you stick it?
That nigga crazy.
That's how you be in the bed for real in the morning,
man? No, I did a skit. I woke up, me and my woman in the bed. I said, everybody be in my DM, Gilly, because they do. Gilly, how you and Toot been together so long? I was playing. I said, because you gotta lick it before you stick it. You gotta eat it before you beat it. Yeah. Look at it. He a freak nigga. I can tell you.
Oh, he ready to invite you somewhere.
What you mean?
He warming up. He's like, oh, I finally got me one.
Wait, what that mean? He said, invite me somewhere.
It ain't on me.
It's
not on me.
Oh, what he talking about? He ready to invite me somewhere.
I don't do that freak man stuff. That stuff that he talking about?
Yeah, no.
That stuff that he talking about?
You a little freaky too.
The freak man stuff
You a
talking
little
about?
kinky too.
Tell him it's the ones that don't admit it, the ones that's the nastiest.
He a little kinky too. I seen him talk about it. He was looking at two a little too much. He said, that nigga thick like them chicks in Honest.
Hey.
He apologized, though. He apologized.
Yeah, he came back the next day. Someone apologized to Tua. Your ass ain't that fat. Yeah. It's a struggle, man. It's a struggle every day. And the biggest struggle for me is looking at my kids, knowing they never gonna see their brother again. The pain in their eyes, that's what really get me the most. You know what I mean? When I gotta look at my wife and she just start crying for no reason, and it's just like, it's something you will never get over. You know what I mean? It's a black hole in my heart forever. And I'm gonna be all the way honest with you, man. The devil was on my shoulders. If I ain't had strong people around me, man, I would have resorted back to the old Gilly, man. I'd have wiped the whole fucking city out, man. I promise you, man. Because I got enough money to do it. But it was people like Wallow, it was people like Freeway. It was people that let me know that and understand that I'm here for a bigger purpose, man. I know I sent them off right. You know what I mean? Wow. And in Islam, that's a big thing, sending them off right. So, and I had some good brothers, man. What camera am I looking at? I want to look into that camera, and I want to thank Freeway from the bottom of my heart. You was there every step of the way with me, brother, washing my son's body. The hardest shit I ever had to do in my fucking life. I will always love you and respect you, brother, for life. I appreciate that. But yeah, that was the day that I knew it was real.
I think a night that I'll never forget was the night we shot Midnight in LA and shot Wayne after it. You know, I shot Wayne a text on like Sunday. You know, just like, hey man, are you gonna be in town on this night? Because we were trying to go to the Hollywood Unlocked thing, and I was like, we gotta see it. And I remember when these people texted, like, he gonna be a little late, he's out being a dad. And we were all like, well, hell, that's more important than us. Yeah. We'll wait forever. And just doing Midnight in LA, which was great for us, and that conversation between us three. But then Wayne coming in, bro, it had to be like 2, right? Wayne coming in and us sitting with him and just having that experience for me being from New Orleans. I thought it was beautiful for you to say, you know, look, I'm gonna take a picture of Sin so Cross can have it. You know, it just showed what type of father you were, but just also the type of man. Yeah. And that's something we enjoy talking about on this show. And Ray Janae always has your back. Yeah, and recently, it was probably like in January, she tweeted out, she was like, look, which is it's a testament to you, right? You're such a great rapper, respected so much. Anytime a new young cat comes out, he's now the next Wayne, or he raps like Wayne or whatever. And she was like, look, leave the marathon Wayne ran out of that. And I respect that. When you have this relationship with your kids, and we understand it, we play ball, we aren't where you are, but we just daddy, right? We just daddy to them. How much did, like you say, you tried to give your mom 2 checks, she didn't want them. You told your mama you were gonna stay in Miami, she sent your clothes. How much of that relationship has helped you be the father that you are now?
I didn't want to stop you when you said, when you said the part about not only a great father, but the man you are. Her, because I have no father. You know what I mean? I lost my father early as he got killed, murked, and so in New Orleans, I probably knew him for a good 6, 7 years of my life before that happened.
Other than that, man, my real pops, he walk around some damn way. I'm sure he pissed because I go super hard, and I know you got friends that be like, nigga, you don't know that nigga? That nigga, that nigga. Well, nigga, you know how you had to prove to my friend when I was 11, that nigga, this is me on the album. I'm sure he got to prove, like, nigga, that's my son. But anyway, it's all her, though. Yeah. All her. Taught me how not to be that.
Really?
You know what I mean? Taught me how not the furthest from being an immigrant mother. You know what I mean? That was their thing. And we're gonna teach this young boy how to be a man.
But the thing people don't know is we went straight to the airport to get to Colorado to do Bud Crawford.
I wanted you to start from the beginning. Before we went to the Hollywood Unlocked show and to support Jason Lee, we started on the East Coast. Then we went West Coast. And then we slept for an hour and a half, maybe. Then we went to the Midwest, Colorado for Bud. Then we ended up on the Central Time Zone, visited Jack Daniels. We did Dustin Lynch there at the distillery.
One of my shining moments of the nights was New Year's Eve years ago. I was kicking it with Bruno Mars for consistently for a bit. He was playing a New Year's Eve show, and we're in Vegas. And so I come in, I'm watching sound check. They're trying some new, like, crazy 10-minute cover thing that's only his brain can figure out and his band isn't figuring out. He gets mad. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ease out of here. I'm gonna come back for showtime. So I came back for showtime, and it's me in the dressing room, and in walks Halle Berry. And it's her and her security guard, and so we're forced to talk because we're waiting on the band guys to pregame and then come say hello. So we're doing that and, like, breaking the ice and having fun, and Bruno comes in, and we, hanging out, and he's like, hey, gotta go to this, I forget what club it was, but we're gonna go pick a bag up at the club after the show, walk with us, be right here after the show. So show's awesome. It's me and Halle and her security guard at front of house where the engineers are mixing the sound. So we're having fun, and at this point, like, it's comfortable now. Like, we have a little rapport, and life's good, and so we come back in. Bruno comes back in, he changes, and they walk us underground for forever in Vegas, and we pop up in this club. And so I thought he was going up to sing or something. He's just supposed to be going and hanging out. So we're hanging out, and I'm just like, I don't want to mess this up. This is the coolest night ever. Freaking Halle Berry's been, I've been hanging on Halle Berry. I'm like, how did I get here, right? And so they're over there doing their thing, like the band guys are there, and I'm just trying to stay out of the way. And Bruno comes over to me and he goes, hey dude, you got to get over here. Halle is all about you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I kind of shake it off. I'm like, give me a drink. I won't even drink. And I'm like, give me a drink. It's me and Bruno and his girl and Halle Berry just dancing like crazy in this booth at this club. He gets up, does a couple songs, and we'll end the story there. But that...
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of on there.
I'm going to hold it. I got a big old head. It's long this way.
You look good. It fits you, brother.
Well, last time I wore a hat on the show, I wore it too low, and our producer, pick the hat up.
That's
we can't
the problem
see
with the cowboy eyes.
This thing is, I ain't seen Dustin eyes all show, but you ain't say nothing to him. Yeah.
See, with the cowboy hat, I'm always struggling with the shave. I mean, that's always...
So now I got to test his manhood a little bit.
Bring it.
Are you good enough to... There we go. But can you, like, could you really go right now, or do you have to?
I could go.
What could you do? I sang, who was it, Jana Kramer? I sang Little Mermaid with her.
Oh my God.
If you give me a song, I know Friends in Low Places.
Let him hear those vocals really
I gotta go I don't know my country roots.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots.
I ruined your black champagne. What was it?
Get this man a karaoke screen. I got friends in low
places where the whiskey drowns.
You're about as good as I thought you'd be.
I ain't even sitting up, Dustin, on that crazy. That's amazing, bro. You can really jump into that shit like that.
I can jump in, yeah.
And went back and kicked it with Will Kump and Big Taylor, busting with the boys.
Watching you guys, you have built this brand, but once you build that brand and that perception, which is authentically you, there's a pressure to uphold that at all times. Like Will is expected to cut the sleeves off of his shirt. Right? You're expected to have your joint tucked in with the 32 inseam and the 34 with your pants tight at the game.
Yeah.
You know, give out your watch. Like all of those things are expected.
And the fat girl shoes on.
Who's fat girl shoes?
Only fat girls wear them shoes.
These shoes?
You and fat girls
Where
wear
you
those
from?
shoes. Obviously somewhere with a lot of fat girls.
These right here, the most reliable shoes you can probably wear.
I know, that's why fat girls wear them.
For the best, for the best
Because they're
price.
reliable and they
things-
need good grip because they fall a lot.
It's just fabric and a little bit of rubber.
I know.
These shoes can't be beaten. These shoes cannot be beaten.
Those shoes are
Your shoes
terrible.
are way
Those
too
shoes
clean.
are terrible.
Your shoes are way too clean.
They
to
also
wear
can't
anywhere.
win.
Huh?
They can't be beaten, nor can they win.
Dude, if I can't, hey,
They're
good to
just
see you,
there.
Chan. How you doing? I scuffed your shoe. There's a piece of you that's low-key hot.
Yes,
If you come up, you step on my shoe, hey, I'm so sorry. Don't worry, bro. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be just fine over here. Yeah. Now I'm not angry and you're a little bit mad and the same situation happened. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Very
This shit
efficient.
is fire.
Those are
Yeah.
efficient shoes.
I appreciate you. I rest my case.
Man, that was a hell of a trip. RC, what was meaningful to you?
I mean, meaningful for me is getting an opportunity to sit with Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson after they had won the national championship. And it wasn't, and in the truth, I definitely wanted to celebrate the win, for sure. Today we sit with Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson, whose LSU Tigers capped March Madness by beating the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark. The game had elite level play and also grade A trash talk. It was an epic finish to a historic women's tourney, but most of the talk was about Reese's celebration. Clark defended Reese, even saying that women should be praised for playing the game with passion. Dave Portnoy took to Twitter and called Reese a classless piece, and Keith Olbermann called her a fucking idiot. Think about that. Adult white men staring at their reflection and saying these things about a young black female over a basketball game? What up, superstar? We finally got it going, huh?
Right.
Finally got to it.
Perfect timing.
Congratulations. Proud of y'all, man. Proud of y'all.
Congrats.
What's up, Slim?
Champion.
What's up? Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
For sure.
Champion, the ring on the way.
There she is. Superstar.
Oh, strolling in.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. I'm Angel. Nice to meet you. I'm Angel. Nice to meet you.
Why you so
I'm
nice?
Angel. What you mean? I am
Why you
nice.
so nice?
How does it feel to be champs?
I don't think I've been able to actually feel it yet. There's so much else going on, so I don't know how to feel just yet. So yeah.
I felt it. I can't wait to put my ring on. There's so much love. Like, I think like in the moment, you like, okay, we just won a game. But then like, when you start looking and seeing the impact and how many people really supporting you, be like, whoa, like this is big, like.
But those young ladies were getting so much flack for just being themselves, for being great, for excelling, but excelling in a way that ruffled some other people's feathers because it felt unfamiliar to see young black women be proud of being black and be damn good at it. To me, that was something that, to get an opportunity to sit with them and to listen to them, and also to stand on side of them as they were going through what they were going through, that was an honor for someone who grew up there, went to school there, and was blessed to see them play in them colors.
Let me hold something. Them girls rich.
All them
They got
LSU
more
people
money.
rich.
More money than me right now.
Jaden rich. Niggas, all the LSU got the money. Eh?
Man, speaking of college, we went to Texas, saw Steve Sarkisian
Old
sit
Sark.
down, old Sark with his black wife. I called it out. I love that. That man
College
got-
football playoff?
Yeah, they went to college football playoffs as well, and they went to the damn college football playoffs, and then we went and saw my man, Pretty Marcus. Marcus!
Marcus, darling. Pretty Marcus, what they call it.
Pretty Marcus, what they call him. But at Notre Dame, bro, we talked about, I hated Notre Dame until I went to Notre Dame because they act elite. But when I went,
you realize why they do.
They are elite, bro. They ain't got but 7,000 students. Like, that's the craziest part. And now, I said, don't you have a little connection?
Yeah,
with
man. You know, I told y'all before, I wanted to go to Notre Dame my whole life. But now, man, for Joe to be there and to transfer there for his last year, have an opportunity to play for a national championship, but they also get to experience something I did, which was playing for Mike T. Now you get to play for Marcus Freeman, two people who now communicate, obviously, but have sort of the same way about themselves and care about the young men the way that they do. So I'm excited. I'm gonna be there every week. I'm gonna be out there looking like, remember The Rock, the guy that played Rock on the sitcom? When Rudy was out there balling, man, you know Rudy was poo. He was
throwing that fist. Yeah, RC, I'm gonna need me a couple tickets, RC.
Yeah,
I got you,
Oh, okay, I'm gonna need me some.
I mean, Freeman probably can connect us, right?
Who's that?
I mean, we spoke to the team, bro.
Oh, Marcus? Where my phone at?
Just in case we can't
I
see.
call Marcus right now.
Honestly, man, like this year, we got to do so many things I don't think we were anticipating. And because of the way we move, we got to stay current and being involved in stuff we weren't expecting to. Freddie T, for you, like, what was one of the biggest surprises or surprise shows we had this year?
Wow. Travis Rudolph. That was like, when we landed that, man, just to get him on and talk about the whole ordeal, but to see him open up in that way.
It was 2 days before Thanksgiving. They bring me downstairs. Downstairs was my two cousins and my pastor. So I'm excited. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm finna get a good prayer, like, you know what I'm saying? But Brother Jack, he got straight to the point, and he told me, he said, it's your nephew. And I got my nephew tatted on me, A2. He was like, it's your nephew, man. He got in a car accident last night, and unfortunately he passed away. And I broke down. I asked my cousin, like, cause she worked with the sheriff's office, and I'm like, cousin, can I go to the funeral? She said, I'm gonna try to work it out for you. That shit broke me down. That was the worst time ever. And with Brother Jack, Brother Jack called my sister. And he wanted me to speak to the family, but I couldn't even get no words out. I couldn't. That was the worst time for me.
You know, it really embodies what the show is, the pivot. We never know, man. We, like you say, all different types of things. But to get people to just open up in that fashion and give themselves to our audience, man, I love that one.
Bobby Shmurda.
You would say that.
Bro, the energy that he brings into a room, just the way he is, the way he walked in, like that uplifting energy that he brought in, bro, Bobby Shmurda, I love him. I know about a week ago when he threw his hat, it disappeared. I don't know where his hat went. But, bro, that Bobby Shmurda in New York, 72nd floor and some big, the one Vanderbilt building and all, bro, that was special. Like, I was not expecting what Bobby brought in that room. And I am a fan for life of Bobby Shmurda. Because I heard another story about a tongue ring. I gotta know, you said it ruined the sex life.
I think it was the Snake Eyes. But you know, they be having a whole bunch of shit. I wasn't really looking, it was just something shining in that mother. It was just something shining.
Well, one thing we know, we can't go to Dubai with him.
Oh, boy.
The way he was living out there.
He was wide open.
I don't want my pee-pee to bleed.
And not to mention, y'all, Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles.
Yeah.
We got, at the time, more than we bargained for. Because contrary to popular belief, I did first hear of him because of his marriage. But it was sitting at home on Thanksgiving like, man, dude can really freaking play. And being attracted to the fact that he's undrafted like me. Like, I know what that's like. I know that people don't pay attention to you. I know how hard it is to work. And I sent a tweet out about him, And it was all the negativity when I was like, man, they're gonna stop calling, they're gonna start calling that man by his name. And all the tweets of, he's always gonna be Simone Biles, woo-woo-woo. And then we have this moment, bro, that I thought was so cool. And I thought it was like so loving and so fun. And it turned into those same people that were saying no matter how great he ever gets, he's always going to be married to her, being so negative about something that for all of us, that was almost like a cookout family moment.
Bro, as us pretty red dimes as we are, how in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? And I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to him. I'm over here rubbing my knees trying to answer this question.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him, he's talking about being looked over. Now, when the right people look at you.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question,
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus. Now you with Freddie. Now it's back. now you with
listen, I'm gonna tell you, organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been to Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, you know, so I'm just living, being me and myself. And COVID had just hit, but I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys are like, hey, man, you gotta check out this app, you know? And I'm like, nah, I'll check it out. Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time. So basically it's like a dating app, but you know, you have to go through certain like criteria to make sure that you're who you are. So literally have been on the app for a couple of days, man, and it's like she pops up and I'm like, let me see who this is. Gymnastics, I ain't never, you know, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so it piqued my curiosity, you know, so I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped her and it said we matched, so I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout and I come back and I get like, I had some likes on my Instagram, you know, and I'm like, oh, this might be it. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, you know, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app, like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm, man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college, and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August, so I'm not paying attention to, you know, so I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched, like, you know.
Jonathan, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me. This was like a Tuesday.
In truth, Simone Biles is lucky.
For what?
Cause she took a chance. She lucky cause she wouldn't have all that. Jonathan said she wouldn't have all that.
Hey, now.
Cause he had time.
Jonathan,
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
All right.
We matched. I was just the first to message. As soon as I clicked, ooh, I like him, it matched. So he had already liked my profile, which that means
She
I was
always
just the first.
say we match
No,
first.
baby, we matched, but I was the first to message.
Yeah, you
I was not
messaged me. She messaged. She wasn't scared. I give her that.
I know what I like and I know what I want.
Y'all are young newlyweds. Don't let people bring that shit in y'all house. Don't let this man do that. Don't do that.
I'm not trying to bring them shit nowhere, Freddie. This man's a hell of a safety. He
only
will
the best
never
on the
be
planet.
as good as a safety as this little motherfucker is as a gymnast. You agree, bro?
Hey, you know what? He might, because the other day I said, you know what? In a couple years, nobody is gonna call him Simone Biles' husband. They'll call me Jonathan Owen's wife.
He was comfortable with us. She was comfortable with us. Hell, we didn't even know she was gonna be there.
Yeah.
Right? And
I was starstruck.
Yeah, because
I was starstruck a little bit.
And that's why you interrupt me to ask the question.
She was sitting there and she had the fluffy headpiece on, and I was like, that's fucking Simone Biles. Y'all asking about a couple too. I couldn't deal with it. I had to ask the question, man. But it's funny. I thought I figured out when things are going to be a problem. The Russell Wilson thing, year one, surprised me because we were just sitting around bullshitting. I knew Kevin Hart would go viral and all the stuff, the funny stuff. I did not know the Simone Biles, Jonathan Owens. We were just having a normal conversation. I did not know that was gonna blow up like it did.
I was so fired up to post it because I thought it was such a dope moment. I was like, man, people are going to love this.
young kids getting together. He don't know, she don't know.
Hey,
on fucking, what is it, Reddit or whatever the hell? I don't know where people find each other.
Hey, it's like Vince Vaughn said, you get together, we just love each other. Just young kids out just trying to figure it out.
I thought that's what it was.
Chan, but this is how quick things turn. I text RC and AZ the other day. I'm like, RC, that's the second person. Because when we did the Rashard Mendenhall show, he was like, because of something RC said on the network, whatever show, was it?
In 2000, he said in 2017 that I said something about the Super Bowl. Yeah.
And it sort of went viral with other people, and they started attacking him about the fumble. And then whatever RC said about J.O., people attacked J.O. I was like, damn, RC 2 in a week? Like, that is crazy.
That's the burden you have to bear when you're a national voice.
Yeah, you know what? But the best thing about it, and what I've seen in the Mendenhall show, reading some of the comments there, even with J.O. and Simone, people admire how RC can, put himself in the background and uplift the other people, even with authentic apologies, and just really laying it all out, saying, look, by no means I meant to, slight anyone or make this turn into that. So being able to apologize and remove yourself from those situations, I think that's what makes you great at your job.
Man, I appreciate it. I just know, like, I ain't scared to lose the fight. Like, being able to say you're sorry don't make you be soft.
And that shit ratcheted up. And like, we ain't never had no problems for real. But that's the one thing I had to bring today because I carried that. And I watched it turn from people starting to say even his teammates believe that he lost the game. And your comment was a way to.
Well, I'll say this. I certainly believe that's a part of why we lost the game. I don't believe that one play loses the game. I believe that if I catch the interception that I planned for 2 weeks when Greg Jennings scores a touchdown, that helps us win the game. Yeah. I believe if I lock Keenan Lewis on the backside when Greg Jennings catches the ball on third down, that we win the game. So there are definitely there are plays in that game that I replay all the time, that I've used as film and as assets for my show inside the NFL. So, but I will say this, if it had that effect on you, I don't remember the moment, but if it had that effect on you, I'm sorry. And especially if it had that effect where people continued to attack you. And like in honesty, from a defensive perspective, do I feel like at that point, with the way you were playing the game, with the way the defense was playing the game, if we don't fumble there, we win? Absolutely. I do feel that way. I can look you in your eye and say that one play didn't lose the game. Most times one play does not lose the game. So I do apologize how that affected you, and especially if what I said made other people treat you a certain way. Because that's definitely not something I want to do. So I do apologize.
I appreciate you apologizing. And I appreciate what you said, for real.
You know what I'm saying? It's like being aware that something you did made someone feel in some way negative. And if that's my intention, I never apologize for it. Like if I call you out your name or insult you purposely, I'm not apologizing for it, right? Like no matter what Sean Payton ever does, if he has a problem with the fact that I said he behaved as a thug, he's never getting an apology from me.
You roasted his ass, though.
I did. It's pretty good.
They put it over ether. I watched it on the plane.
Pretty good, right?
You roasted his ass.
And so before we get to the biggest pivot of this year, I do want to talk about a favorite moment that Fred posted about, but that people don't really know everything about what happens with us and how tied together we are. The FaceTime about you after you went on the radio and talked about Dak. Bro,
we went to Cold Red. Cold Red, take the chains off the door. The enemy is here.
The enemy is here. Bro, I remember.
Y'all turned into Joe Clark.
Hey, I remember when I heard it, it was another one of those things. I was like, that's really not a big deal. I get what he's doing. I understand it. But then, like, you getting calls, and it's like, and they telling my friends, man, your boy RC tripping. And I was like, what you mean? I haven't said anything. And it was like, well, Chan did, and that's your boy. Yes, he is. And in public, he's always right. But, hey, I remember we got on that phone, and the screenshot Freddie T took, Leash got her hand like this. Hey, my head down. Hey, we thought the show was finna end. Hey, dog.
I mean, that was one of the threats on top of the other 30. Alicia, stop threatening us about quitting, too. That's all you do. No, but that was a moment, and you attacked her quarterback.
Yeah.
You can't attack Dak.
You got to leave Dallas alone. They get it to
Dak turned that thing up after that.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And he turned it up.
And he did turn it up. Then they got their ass drugged.
And that brings to my mind, too, man, like the training camp tour.
I flipped my drawers already this morning after that goddamn training camp thing. I had to flip my drawers over.
Why did you put them on the air conditioner when you was doing your show?
I did. So that's what I did. So I got to the room, I put my drawers and I shoved them in the vent, and I turned the air conditioner on high fan, and it dried them out. And then I flip them over and put them on because
It's like a new pair of drawers, huh?
It's a new pair of drawers because the outside of the drawers ain't touch nothing but cotton.
They got jeans on it.
They got jeans. That ain't bad. The inside of it was in the motherfucking sewer system. Man, that's so funny. I didn't know nobody flips their drawers till I started messing with y'all. I thought everybody flipped their drawers.
I just put a new pair on. If I gotta flip them.
That's expensive. I got drawers at the house that I done rubbed the ass out of. The whole ass as a whole.
Wait, what?
Peasy. Peasy and Lil Peasy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I teared up in the car after that one. To see him growing up, to see little Joey run around, jump in the pool, play around, when we were all still playing, and now see he's starting for the Steelers. Peasy
And I'm
and
telling you
Lil
what he
Peasy
is, too.
got me.
He is dang good, too, bro.
He can play ball.
He can flat out go, but, it's like, it's Peasy, it's Sean McVay, the Niners. Like, we sat down with a general manager and John Lynch, Trevor Lawrence, to sit down with him before this big season. And, it also, too, man, like that training camp tour brings you closer to dudes. Like, think about Nick Chubb, man. We got an opportunity to sit with him. We all just fell in love with the human, and then to see such a horrific injury befall him as well. Just having an opportunity, man, to go to these different places, sit with these guys, and have them give us their time during training camp. I think that's one of my favorite things to do. And I feel like we'd be remiss to not mention sitting down with Deion before all the chaos ensued. The fastest man I've ever seen with the football, fighting through these things, riding in carts, a noticeable limp, and you're still coaching your team, putting them in a situation to where you leave with a higher winning percentage than Eddie Robinson, the great Eddie Robinson. Where is your health now as you embark on this new journey? Because you got to take care of self too,
True.
Brian.
It's a challenge. It's a daily challenge. It's a new normal. It'll never be the same. My dream is to one day run. I want to run again because I used to love to run. I used to always say, mile a day, keep the fat away. And I used to try to run a mile a day. Now I'm into biking because that's the only way I can get my cardio because I can't stand still or get on a treadmill or elliptical too long because I got to go. I got to move. But it's a new normal. It's not easy when you understand that you was built for speed and you was built for certain things and you can't do that no more. You have no idea how much that hurt. And see, you got to understand, when I talk, I see things. I can see the scenes when I talk. That's the gift that God gave me. I can see everything when I'm talking. And to look back and to be in that hospital for darn near a month and couldn't move. And then when I got out, they had to carry me into the car, carry me in the house. They had to build ramps up my house and in the bathroom. I had to have rails on my bathroom. Somebody had to take me in the bathroom, bring me out of the bathroom, put me in the bed, get me out of the bed. Do you understand, for a guy that was prided himself on being in shape and being dominant at every darn thing, for someone to carry you, man? Woo, help me, Lord. You have no idea, like mentally, what I went through that season.
The confidence he had sitting there that day and now seeing it unfold and him still be the same. I think that's somebody we have to revisit this year in the offseason and just see, all right, coach, after being here a year, do you still feel the same? So if you had one guess, Freddie T, 2024, who would it be?
I'm going to go for the GOAT, man. I think I would like to see where LeBron is in 24.
I like
whether
that.
he be playing against his son at some point or not, I don't know, but that would be a big guess I would love to have on the show.
Y'all know one of my things I started doing was comedy. We had Desi on. We had Lil Duval on this year. We had some comedians. Spice Adams on this year. But there's a lot around Dave Chappelle. And Denzel's my easy go-to because I just love Denzel Washington. Not his son. His son did a movie in reverse. I didn't understand that shit. Tenet? I don't know what the fuck.
It was
Tenet.
actually pretty good. Though.
Tenet, I know nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
It's like
Ryan,
it's very,
you don't know what was going on.
It's very Inceptionist.
You don't know what was going on in that movie.
Thinking back to right now, I can't remember. I'm gonna go watch it.
I know you don't know, because shit was in reverse. Who the fuck can watch anything in reverse? But I was Denzel my thing. But Dave Chappelle, he recently got criticized for some more jokes he did, and just the comedy space and all that, man, I would love to sit down with Dave. I really want to sit down with Dave Chappelle.
He's my number one, and I've always said that. I will retire from podcasting if we get Dave Chappelle. The person that has moved up my list very rapidly this year is J. Cole. You know, we've had opportunities to sit down with entertainers and artists. I think he has a very interesting mind. I think he's managed to be a real-life rapper in a time where real-life rappers are dying. And he's actually stepped up his lyrical content and gained popularity, which is difficult in these day and ages. But if you listen to like some of the things he said, is like he realized through his lyrics, people were thinking that he was very like woke, in lack of a better term, or very in tune, and those things mattered. And he's almost said, I've had to pull myself back from that. Right? So I would just love to get into that conversation. But like we always end every show, I guess we have to end this show this way for us for the first time of 2024. Freddie T, this year, man, what was your biggest pivot?
I think you guys probably know the answer to that. On Halloween, I lost my grandmother, and it gave me perspective on life, just how I want to approach things going forward. You know, I think it made my family closer. You know, she was the staple, and we kind of drifted apart a little bit. Everybody get busy with their own lives, but you know, right there on Halloween, and this is just outside of the show, but I'm talking about my biggest pivot personally, was Halloween and losing her, and then having to bury her a bit after that. And they gave me the hardest task I probably think I had my entire life, and that was to cover her and close the casket. I was surprised that I've never seen it happen that way. I was grateful that they were able to, which meant I was the last person to see her face. So that kind of hit me. But yeah, that was good though. It was good for us that we were able to get closer. So my mom, she leaves text messages every day, group chat. Everybody, I love you, and it's been the same since then. So that was good for us. It's not that we want her to be gone, but it did kind of help our family come back closer, get closer.
I would say this year, something that Pat Riley always says, make the main thing the main thing. And that's what I kind of just grinding, running, working. All of us got 14 jobs. And I think I started worried about success more than the family that's gonna be there. Like I was just flights and jobs and checks and all that. And I would say this year kind of just grounded me. Certain things happened this year that grounded me, that like without Asia, Ava, Chan, and Chaz, I'm nothing. You're your legacy. And that's what this year, I say the last 12 months really made me look at like the legacy of it. Like the TV, the podcast, and the radio, the seasonings, the comedy. What am I doing that for without them? Like what am I doing that for if it's just for that check? And I really thought about like the legacy of Lil Chan being Channing the Third, and what that means more than the houses, more than the cars, more than all that. And that's what I really started looking at, like the main thing to be that, and why am I working so hard? We all work hard. Why am I working so hard? And it's for them crazy jokers back at the house.
Yeah, I think, like, I don't really know, to be honest. I feel like those people that come on our show that act like they've never seen our show, that we ask about their biggest pivot, and they be surprised. That's a good question. This is the question we ask at the end of every show. Yeah. I would think that one of the things that caused, and it wasn't my pivot, it caused a certain change in mindset, was when Lil Greg found out about his brain tumor. For things to just be the normal life of a 22-year-old, and then for all that to be taken away, and then to see what his family was dealing with, his parents, his siblings, it sort of grounds you into remembering that tomorrow's not promised, and tragedy doesn't discriminate. You know, like truly waking up and being grateful for every day. Like, man, you know, like you said, I had gotten so busy sometimes, and you're grinding. Like, I know why I do. Like, I want, like, all of the trust fund baby stuff that in our communities as Black people, we almost shame people for being sometimes. I want my kids to be that, right? Like, I want, when I close my eyes, for them to be able to have lives that they would have had to work decades to have because of what daddy did. Like, I want that. And that's why I work. But it's just like every morning, man, hey, I love y'all. You know, I'm thinking of y'all. Like, just have the best day, have the best week. You know, just really tapping into the people that matter. And I'm not great at it when it pertains to people outside of that circle, but I'm working on it. Just returning text messages, right? That people that think enough of you just to say, hey, how you doing? Not being like, reading it and be like, man, I gotta do this though, I'm gonna get back to it. And then next thing you know, it's 2 weeks later and they check in on you again. You know what I'm saying? Like, what gives me the right for this person who's meant as much to me as I have to them to overlook them caring enough or being concerned enough in their day when they're dealing too to just check on me. And one of my childhood friends as well, her daughter, just at school, in high school, calls and says she has a headache, dies at school. 16 years old. You know, we grew up in the church together. Like, I know it wasn't because her family wasn't praying. I know it wasn't because her family don't believe in God, because they don't have faith. It was just that tragedy doesn't discriminate. You know, and so I think it was moments like that in people's close to me lives that have made me say, okay, RC, like, some of this stuff you just gotta get better at, you know, because one day, you know, I am gonna close my eyes, or people I love are going to close theirs before me, and I don't want to have not let them know while they were here how much, or while I was here, how much they mattered. And so I think that for me, that's it, and that's something I'll focus on in 2024. It ain't a resolution. It's gotta be the way you live and the way you show people gratitude. But man, I'm excited about 2024. I can be honest with you, as we film this show today, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. Hell, we barely got a show for next week.
We're gonna figure it out.
That's the
But you know
craziest
what?
thing.
Everything always works out.
That is a fact.
Congrats, fellas.
Yes,
2
sir.
years,
Yes,
man. 2 years.
CC.
Hey, Stanko, baby.
Boy, y'all funny. What's up, baby?
I miss you, Stanko.
Wait, come on, don't do that. We got
Stanko,
baby.
Hey, Stanko,
baby. Hold on. Let me take this picture. Stanko baby on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Stanko baby.
Come on, man. Why you embarrassing me like that, man?
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, I'm pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, I'm pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up.